Young Sung's phone buzzes with an incoming message from Park Min-chul, and a sense of foreboding settles in the pit of his stomach. The words on the screen seem to leap out at him, demanding his attention. "Meet me at the park. I need to talk to you." As he arrives at the park, the sun casts long shadows across the grass, creating an eerie atmosphere. Park Min-chul is already there, his face a mess of bruises and bandages. He looks up, his eyes locking onto Young Sung's, and a mixture of fear and desperation swirls in their depths. "You came," Park Min-chul says, his voice barely above a whisper. "Thanks a lot." Young Sung's gaze is like ice, his eyes piercing through Park Min-chul's very soul. "Let's get straight to the point," he says, his voice devoid of emotion. Park Min-chul's eyes dart nervously around the park, as if searching for an escape from the suffocating atmosphere. "It was all my fault," he stammers. "I was immature, I didn't realize. I'll do anything, just please forgive me." The desperation in Park Min-chul's voice is palpable, his words tumbling out like a prayer. Young Sung's expression remains unreadable, his eyes never leaving Park Min-chul's face. As Park Min-chul grasps Young Sung's shoulders, a cold sweat breaks out on his forehead. "I'm begging you, please. I'll do anything. Just don't ruin my life." The silence that follows is oppressive, the only sound the soft rustling of leaves in the wind. Then, Young Sung speaks, his voice low and measured. "Being expelled would be a shock, but you're just 17-year-old high school students with unstable lives." Park Min-chul's eyes widen in fear as he realizes the gravity of his situation. "Telling you this puts us in danger," he whispers, his voice barely audible. As he glances nervously to the side, Park Min-chul's words hang in the air like a challenge. "Someone gave us orders to bully you, that person is." But before he can finish, Young Sung's words cut him off like a knife. "I know." The air seems to vibrate with tension as Park Min-chul's eyes lock onto Young Sung's, his face pale with fear. The silence that follows is deafening, the only sound the pounding of Park Min-chul's heart. Park Min-chul's eyes widen in shock as Young Sung continues his sentence. "I know your backer, I know who it is." In his past life, when Young Sung was in the hospital, he's receiving shocking news that the person leading the school has been revealed. Years after Young Sung's coma, a man who was bullied like him jumps from the school's rooftop, leaving behind a letter that provides clues. The letter reveals that the one controlling the school is the Golden Circle, an organization formed in a prestigious school in Gangnam. The core members of this organization are unknown, and its creator sees bullying and violence in schools as a lucrative business opportunity. They're recruiting strong students or bullies and targeting students with wealthy and powerful parents, offering them protection in exchange for their loyalty. If the fighters lose, they'll target and recruit intelligent students. In Young Sung's past life, the Golden Circle's members were exposed, but the case is quickly closed, and the members disappear. Young Sung thinks, "To exact my revenge on those who forced me to do this, I need to gather information first and then destroy them." After a moment of thought, Young Sung grasps Park Min-chul's hand and says, "Your backer is the Golden Circle, right?" But there's something strange. The Golden Circle's headquarters is in Seoul and Gyeonggi, their influence doesn't reach Daesan. "Who and how did they recruit you?" Park Min-chul remains silent, unsure of what to say. After a few moments, he replies, "Shin Young-min, my senpai, he recruited me." Young Sung's eyes widen in shock. Shin Young-min, the senior who bullies everyone in school. This information is beyond Young Sung's expectations. He's thinking that if that's the case, then Shin Young-min might not be able to find clients, but he must be in contact with them. And Young Sung can use that to his advantage. However, Shin Young-min won't give up information easily, and he's also strong, having started a career as a professional MMA fighter. If Young Sung attacks him recklessly, he'll lose. So, the most important thing is to decide how to deal with this loser first. The loser being Park Min-chul. Young Sung speaks coldly, "So, you want an apology from me?" He grips Park Min-chul's collar, making him nervous and stutter. Young Sung mutters to himself, recalling his past life. "Layers of emotions have accumulated since my coma. An apology? I won't let it happen." Young Sung stares at Park Min-chul with a psychopathic gaze and says, "I'll show you clearly what will happen when we meet in the future." Young Sung rains down punches on Park Min-chul's face, remembering how Park Min-chul and his gang had succeeded in their past life. He hopes that in this life, they will live with trauma from all of this. The scene shifts to a classroom, where students are discussing the incident between Young Sung and Park Min-chul's gang. A student says with confusion, why is Young Sung suddenly being so ruthless? He wasn't like that before. Another student adds, you never know what someone's capable of when they're pushed to the edge. They're scary when they snap and don't know when to stop. As the students continue to gossip, Young Sung opens the classroom door and walks in, silencing the room. He sits down at his desk, and suddenly, someone approaches him. Hey, thanks. Young Sung turns around, and it's Lee Young-min, the fat guy who had been beaten up by Park Min-chul. Lee Young-min says, I heard what happened. Park Min-chul and the others got expelled, and it's all thanks to you. Let me know if you need anything. I'll prepare everything you need, so don't hesitate to ask. The classroom falls silent, with all eyes on Lee Young-min and Young Sung. Young Sung says, why do people who didn't want to associate with me before suddenly thank me now? You're just afraid of them, and now you're thanking me. Get out of here, I don't care about you, and I don't want to see your face. The scene shifts to the school rooftop, where a silver-haired man is smoking a cigarette and chatting with someone. So, what's going to happen now that Park Min-chul and the others have been expelled and our plan has been ruined? The other person asks. The silver-haired man, revealed to be Shin Young-min, stubs out his cigarette on the floor and says, yeah, that's true. Shin Young-min continues, he's gotten cocky and thinks he's above everyone. His backer is the eldest son of Myeongjin Construction. Now that things are like this, no one can touch him in Daesan because no one can beat Myeongjin Construction there. The other person asks, are you going to give up? Shin Young-min smiles slyly and says, no. He adds, the situation is messy, but it's not that bad. High school is more than just one thing. We've just been given an opportunity to make money. Shin Young-min clenches his fist and says, if we can make more money by protecting the school, then we should actually be thankful to them. So, who's the new top student who's coming to school now? The scene cuts to Young Sung, who is focused on getting information about the Golden Circle during class. He's planning to join the Golden Circle through his achievements and suspects that there's someone in his class who wants to take him down and take his place because of his good grades in middle school. He's planning to come up with a more solid plan for the future. The scene shifts to a martial arts training gym owned by Young Do-chul, the first Korean to become a UFL world champion in MMA. However, his time in the spotlight has passed, and no one pays attention to him anymore. Young Sung enters the gym and is greeted by someone. The man asks, do you want to sign up? Young Sung replies, yes, I want to learn how to fight. The scene shifts to the rooftop of a building, where a bald, muscular man approaches Shin Young-min. Shin Young-min asks, your name is Jin-woon, right? The man, Park Jin-woon, is a first-year student like Young Sung. He nods nervously, standing in front of Shin Young-min, the strongest student in school, who suddenly summoned him. Shin Young-min says, you're a piece of trash, but you have a good body. I thought you said you were a servant. Shin Young-min touches Jin-woon's head and stares at him coldly, saying, I have a request. In your class, there's a student named Kim Young-sung. Take him down so he never acts like a normal human being again. The scene shifts to Young Sung, who is being greeted by the gym staff. The staff member says, you look like a high school student. You've come to the right place. I'll tell you a bit about our gym. We offer physical training, stress relief, and even diet improvement. Our customers are 100% satisfied, and the monthly fee is 150,000 won. Young Sung's eyes widen as he takes in the man standing before him, his gaze scrutinizing every detail. And then, it clicks, this is none other than Young Do-chul, the former UFL champion. Young Sung hadn't recognized him at first, what with the mustache and all. Young Do-chul sits down and asks with a smile, so, what brings you to the gym? Young Sung replies without hesitation, well, what brings you to the gym? Young Sung replies without hesitation, I want to learn how to fight. I want to know how to take down those bullies who think they own the place. Young Do-chul's expression turns serious, and he falls silent for a moment before speaking. The gym is a place for teaching, not for settling scores, Young Do-chul says. If you're here just to fight, I'm afraid I won't be able to train you. He smiles slightly and adds, you can learn to defend yourself, and those bullies won't bother you again. Why don't you start with some warm-ups? Young Sung's mind is racing. This is Young Do-chul, the man who has once dominated the UFL. What is someone of his caliber doing running a small gym on the outskirts of town? Young Sung remembers hearing about Young Do-chul's protege, Kim Muyol, who is becoming a top fighter in just a few short days. That's what Young Sung wants, to be trained by a professional like Young Do Cheol. Young Sung smiles, trying to convince Young Do Cheol to train him. When you were a fighter, you did whatever it took to win. I'm the same, I want to achieve my goal, so what's wrong with that? Young Do Cheol's expression turns somber, and he says, that's a mistake I made in the past. I was young and stupid. If I could go back, I wouldn't do it again. I've regretted it ever since. As Young Do Cheol stands, he says, if you make decisions without seeing everything, you'll end up like me. If you're just here to fight, you'll end up in prison. Young Do Cheol starts to walk away, but stops when Young Sung says, 100 million, I want to give it to you. With a cold gaze, Young Sung adds, you need money, don't you? If you promise to train me, I'll send 100 million in one day. So you don't have to worry. Even if I quit halfway, you won't lose anything. The offer Young Sung makes causes Young Do Cheol to turn around and look at him, weighing his options. Young Sung says, you might have predicted what would happen, but you still chose to do drugs. I'm the same. If I'm going to prison, I already have a plan. We're the same, I'm depressed, and I need you. Young Do Cheol, still hesitant, says, you won't use drugs, will you? I won't let you use drugs like I did. I'll help you, but only to teach you. Young Sung smiles, sounds good, but after saying that, Young Do Cheol looks at him seriously, I'm not done yet. Get in the ring. If you can last one round, I'll acknowledge your intentions and accept you as my student. The scene shifts to Young Sung's house, where his grandmother is screaming hysterically, seeing her son come home with a battered face. Young Sung's grandmother asks angrily who did this to her grandson. She touches Young Sung's chest with trembling hands and says, tell me who did this, Grandma will teach them a lesson. Young Sung says, it's okay, Grandma. I'm fine, but his grandmother says, no, look at you, what do you mean you're fine? The scene shifts to Young Do Cheol, who is sitting next to the ring, drinking sake and looking at his phone. Some time ago, in the ring, Young Do Cheol said, I'm not kidding, I've met all kinds of people, and there are many like you. No matter how strong your determination is, once you step into the octagon, it's all meaningless. Kids who are confident because they only know a little about fighting will eventually kneel down and beg. Young Do Cheol said coldly, his fists clenched, 1 round is 3 minutes. No grappling. Forget everything and try to get through the round. Prove that you won't break, and I'll teach you to be the best. He assumed a fighting stance and said, are you going to try? Young Sung replied, yes, I'll try. Young Sung got into a fighting stance, and Young Do Cheol thought to himself that Young Sung didn't show any fear, but let's see what happens after he takes one punch. Young Do Cheol charged at Young Sung and threw a punch at his face. Young Sung quickly blocked the punch, but when he thought he had it under control, Young Do Cheol's powerful punch broke through his defense and hit him right in the face. The punch sent Young Sung crashing to the ground, and Young Do Cheol walked up to him, saying coldly, that's just 19 seconds. Young Sung stood up, and the two resumed their fight. Young Do Cheol rained down punches on Young Sung, who could only protect his face and try to withstand the onslaught. As Young Sung blocked the punches, he was impressed by Young Do Cheol's strength and speed. If Young Do Cheol landed a solid hit, Young Sung would be knocked out. Suddenly, Young Do Cheol stopped his attack, and Young Sung was left wondering why. Before he could think further, Young Do Cheol kicked Young Sung's shin, causing him to cry out in pain and fall to the ground. Young Do Cheol said coldly, maybe it's not too late to stop. Young Sung stood up, determined not to give up, and said, it's not over yet. Young Do Cheol said, 1 minute and 30 seconds left. If you can't stand up in 15 seconds, I'll consider this fight over. Hearing Young Do Cheol's words, Young Sung muttered to himself, I have to stand up, but my body won't listen. Young Sung tried to get up again, his body trembling with pain, but he fell again. After saying this, Young Do Cheol thought to himself, I hit him right on target. I don't think he'll get up again. Give up, kid, and go home. Young Sung felt frustrated that he couldn't get up. He growled to himself, damn it, get up, Young Sung. Didn't you pray to God for 10 years for a chance? Even when you were desperate, you hoped someone would come and save you. And now that you've got a chance, you can't even take one punch. Young Sung stood up, gritting his teeth against the pain, and said to himself, I won't fall now, even if I have to become a demon. Young Do Cheol was shocked to see Young Sung still standing, given the powerful punch he had just landed. Even professional fighters would have had trouble recovering from that. Young Do-chil adjusted his gloves and said, "Okay, I see how desperate you are. But I won't let you live with regrets like me." Young Do-chil charged at Yun Sung, unleashing a brutal flurry of punches. Yun Sung could only block by covering his face, thinking to himself, hold on, even if my nose breaks or my teeth shatter, I have to hold on." As Young Do-chil continued to pummel Yun Sung's body trembled with each blow. He thought to himself, hold on, even if my nose breaks or my teeth shatter, I have to hold on. Just as Young Do-chil was about to land another punch, the bell rang, signaling the end of the round. Young Do-chil's punch stopped just short of Yun Sung's face. Young Do-chil yelled in frustration, "God damn it, you're a tough nut to crack." He walked out of the ring and said, "The hospital is already closed, so go tomorrow. Don't tell anyone I did this to you." Young Do-chil turned around, expecting a response from Yun Sung, and said, "I'm sending you my account number." But Yun Sung was struggling to stay conscious, his eyes glazing over. Unbeknownst to Young Do-chil, Yun Sung had just sent him 100 million won. When Young Do-chil checked his account, he muttered to himself, "I wouldn't have taken his offer if it wasn't for the money." Back at Yun Sung's house, Yun Sung was eating with his grandmother. He told her that his injuries were from a fight with a classmate and downplayed the situation to avoid worrying her. Yun Sung asked his grandmother, "Do we still have some savings?" His grandmother replied, "Yes, I've been saving 100,000 won every month for a year." Yun Sung then suggested, "I've heard that Myeongjin Construction is offering an affordable apartment program. What if we try to apply? Maybe we can." His grandmother looked hesitant, saying, "Even if we're selected, we won't be able to afford it." Yun Sung explained that they could take out a loan from the bank and sell their current house to cover the costs. If they couldn't afford the payments in the future, they could always sell the apartment. Yun Sung's grandmother was surprised by his plan and asked, "When did you become a real estate expert?" What Yun Sung didn't reveal was that they wouldn't be applying fairly like everyone else. Gochong BOEM would ensure their names were on the list of selected applicants. Yun Sung's plan was motivated by his desire to give his grandmother the 100 million won he had promised Young Do-chil. If he gives her the 100 million won directly, his grandmother will get suspicious. So, his plan is to. The next day, on the rooftop of Shin Young-min's school, Jin-woo is with Young-min. Young-min says, "Good job, Jin-woo. I hear from a freshman that you took care of him after I told you to." Jin-woo is confused about what's going on. Young-min continues, "I thought he'd be hard to handle, but you did a great job. I like that. From now on, you can tell everyone you're close to me. And let's have some fun after school." Jin-woo, still confused, follows the conversation and proudly says, "Brother, if you need anything, just let me know. You know my name is Park Jin-woo." Shin Young-min puts his arm around Jin-woo's shoulders and says, "That's awesome. You're a cool guy, Park Jin-woo." Jin-woo, thrilled, asks, "Really?" However, the truth is that Park Jin-woo had gone to Yun Sung's class to check on the situation and was shocked to see Yun Sung's battered face. Shin Young-min mistakenly thinks that Park Jin-woo is the one who beat up Yun Sung. Park Jin-woo makes an announcement that anyone who talks to or befriends Yun Sung will be dealt with. The scene shifts to Young Do-chil's gym. Young Do-chil explains to Yun Sung that when you're tired from fighting, no matter how skilled you are, it's all useless. So, if Yun Sung is feeling stressed, he needs to hold on. If he fails, the training will be cancelled. Every day, Yun Sung has to do physical training for 2 hours, including jumping rope, push-ups, and weightlifting. Yun Sung can only endure the exhaustion for the sake of defeating Shin Young-min. Young Do-chil is impressed by Yun Sung's physical endurance and says, "I've been banned from fighting in the octagon, but I've found a way to be the best. Even though my career is over, my student can still become the best." Young Do-chil points at Yun Sung and says, "I'm going to make you unbeatable." 1 week later, in class, Yun Sung is sitting alone, focused on writing something. A blonde-haired guy suddenly sits in front of him and says, "I think this isn't right." The guy is Kim Si-woo, someone considered to have a bright future among his peers. Yun Sung stops writing and looks up at Kim Si-woo. Noticing the awkward atmosphere, Kim Si-woo says, "You've changed a lot from what I remember. It's a bit hard for me to talk to you. And I don't want to be like the others who avoid you. So, let's be friends." Young Sung is taken aback and doesn't understand what Kim Si-woo is talking about. Kim Si-woo is even more surprised that Young Sung doesn't know what's going on. Kim Si-woo explains that Park Jin-woo has threatened everyone, saying that if anyone talks to or befriends Young Sung, they'll be beaten up. Young Sung asks, "So why did you come to talk to me?" Kim Si-woo clenches his fist and says, "How can you say that? We've been friends since elementary school. Even if I get beaten up, I won't ignore you." In the past, Young Sung was beaten up by Park Min-chul, but Kim Si-woo stepped in to stop it. However, after that, Park Min-chul started bullying Kim Si-woo, even breaking his leg. As a result, Kim Si-woo pretended not to know Young Sung. After Young Sung was hospitalized, Kim Si-woo came to apologize for not being able to protect him. Young Sung grabs Kim Si-woo's hand and says, "Don't bother with me. Just do what everyone else does. I can take care of myself." Kim Si-woo is shocked and says, "Don't you realize how dangerous this is? The break is over, so let's talk about this later." Kim Si-woo stands up and says, "Remember, I'll do what I want, and I won't leave you alone." Young Sung continues to study, thinking that he needs to cut ties with his close friends because he doesn't know what kind of suffering awaits him. Two students next to him start talking about Kim Si-woo and mention that Park Jin-woo is talking to him. Hearing this, Young Sung is suddenly shocked and quickly runs towards Park Jin-woo. The scene shifts to the boys' bathroom, where Park Jin-woo and his gang are surrounding Kim Si-woo. Park Jin-woo says coldly, "Si-woo, didn't I already warn everyone? Or are you deaf?" Si-woo walks up to Jin-woo and says, "Who are you to order me around? Young Sung is my friend, and I don't know why you're bullying him. If you want to fight, let's settle it between us." Park Jin-woo's emotions are triggered by Si-woo's provocation, but before he can do anything, Si-woo kicks him right in the chin, sending Jin-woo crashing to the ground. Jin-woo's gang is shocked to see him taken down by Si-woo. Si-woo looks at them and orders them to attack him, but they're no match for him. They can't take down Si-woo and end up getting beaten up instead. As Si-woo is fighting, he thinks to himself that he can't believe he didn't help his friend sooner, leaving him to suffer alone. Just as Si-woo is about to get the upper hand, someone kicks him from behind, sending him crashing into Jin-woo. Jin-woo says coldly, "So you've learned some martial arts." A punch lands on Si-woo's face, making him dizzy. Jin-woo says, "You think you're tough just because you've learned a little martial arts?" Jin-woo starts beating up Si-woo without mercy. "From now on, I'll beat you up every day after school. I'll make your life a living hell." Just as Jin-woo is about to deliver another blow, the door swings open, and Young Sung stands there, his eyes fixed on Jin-woo. Park Jin-woo turns around and says, "Oh, Park Young Sung. I thought it was someone else. Since you're here, I don't need to look for you. Do you have any last words?" Young Sung walks up to Jin-woo and says, "Yes, I do. People say you're looking for trouble with me. A guy who only relies on his size. You won against Si-woo because you had backup. Am I right?" The gang bursts out laughing, as if they've just heard the most hilarious joke. Park Jin-woo's face turns red with anger, and he yells, "Back off, everyone. I'll take care of him myself." He charges at Young Sung, his short temper getting the better of him. But Young Sung is no longer the same person. Trained by Young Do-cheol, he's become a formidable fighter. With lightning-fast reflexes, Young Sung punches Jin-woo right in the face and says, "Is that all you've got? So boring." Jin-woo's anger boils over, and he attacks Young Sung, confident in his physical strength. However, Young Sung is well prepared to handle this type of opponent. He dodges and weaves, landing precise blows that send Jin-woo crashing to the ground. Without hesitation, Young Sung starts kicking Jin-woo's face, his eyes blazing with intensity. Jin-woo's gang is terrified, with one of them whispering, "This guy's crazy, he's going to kill him." Jin-woo, unable to defend himself, grabs Young Sung's leg and begs for mercy. Young Sung glares at him, his grip on Jin-woo's jacket tightening. "Say it again," he growls. "Say those words again. Do you think you can take me down?" Jin-woo is shaking with fear, his massive frame trembling as he apologizes profusely, claiming that everything was just a rumor and that he was acting on orders from his senior. Young Sung releases Jin-woo and his gang, his eyes cold. "This is your last warning. Never touch Kim Si-woo again. If I find out you've laid a hand on him." Young Sung's voice trails off as he delivers a vicious kick to Jin-woo's jaw. "I'll hunt you down to the ends of the earth." The scene shifts to the school's infirmary, where Yun Sung says to Kim Si-woo, "I told you not to get involved and just do what everyone else does. If you don't want to go through what you just experienced today, you shouldn't get involved in my business." However, instead of heeding Yun Sung's warning, Kim Si-woo smiles and says, "Before I lost consciousness, I saw you come to my aid. Look, we're the same, aren't we? After you heard that I was being bullied by Park Jin-woo, you rushed to help me, didn't you?" Kim Si-woo grabs Yun Sung's hand and continues, "I don't know what's going on with you, but the fact that we're friends will never change. So don't pretend like we don't know each other. Even if something like this happens again, I'll always be there for you." Yun Sung pulls his hand away and says, "Do you think it was just a coincidence that I fought Park Jin-woo's gang? It wasn't them I was looking for. But I started the fight because they deserved it. This is just the beginning." Kim Si-woo is shocked by what he hears. Yun Sung adds, "Do you know what my real goal is? To destroy those gangs, even if it means giving up everything I have." Kim Si-woo is stunned and asks, "What are you talking about?" Yun Sung interrupts him and says, "Shut up and listen. I've been through bad things that I can't talk about. So don't get any ideas. I'm just out for revenge. If you stick with me, you'll get hurt again. Can you handle that? Think about it. You've already been beaten up by Park Jin-woo." Yun Sung stands up and says, "Kim Si-woo, I consider you a friend, that's all. I'm not the same Yun Sung you used to know." Yun Sung walks out, leaving Kim Si-woo behind, and says, "So from now on, don't get involved. You won't be able to handle it." Kim Si-woo can only sit there, feeling frustrated and angry. Meanwhile, Yun Sung, outside, feels frustrated too, knowing he has to leave behind his friendship with Kim Si-woo, his childhood friend. The scene shifts to Shin Young-min's classroom, where he's sitting with his feet on the table, looking at his phone. He's checking the Golden Circle organization, which has increased the price for a job. Shin Young-min smiles slyly and mutters to himself, "This is amazing. Millions of won, just for bullying a few kids. I should ask for a commission in the future." In the hallway, some students are talking about the guy who is walking in front of them, saying, "Isn't he a freshman? What's wrong with his clothes?" Meanwhile, Shin Young-min thinks to himself, "I've heard there's a job at another school. If I can get connected to that school, making 10 million won't be hard. This is perfect. Even after graduation, I can be a broker for the Golden Circle." Suddenly, Yun Sung kicks open the door, making Shin Young-min look up and say, "Who's that? Who opens the door like that?" Yun Sung looks at Shin Young-min and says, "Are you Shin Young-min, the bastard?" Shin Young-min's emotions are triggered, and he stands up, saying, "What did you just call me? You called me a bastard." Yun Sung interrupts him and says, "Yes, you damn bastard." Shin Young-min is taken aback as Yun Sung charges at him, trying to kick him. However, Shin Young-min blocks the kick. Shin Young-min says, "What are you doing, you damn bastard?" But Yun Sung just keeps throwing punches at him. Shin Young-min blocks the punches and asks, "Who are you?" However, as he blocks the punches, he realizes that Yun Sung has learned how to fight, but his punches are weak and his pattern is easy to predict. But things take a turn when Yun Sung lands a punch right to Shin Young-min's stomach, making him gasp in surprise. Yun Sung says, "Who am I? I'm Yun Sung, the one you're looking for." Shin Young-min holds his stomach and looks at Yun Sung, saying, "You damn bastard. Okay, so what?" Before he can finish his sentence, Yun Sung grabs a nearby chair and swings it at Shin Young-min. However, Shin Young-min quickly blocks his head with his left arm. After blocking the attack, Shin Young-min says, "Are you crazy? How dare you hit me with a chair?" Yun Sung throws the chair at Shin Young-min, but he dodges it, and the chair hits the wall. Yun Sung charges at Shin Young-min, but he blocks the punch. Shin Young-min seizes the opportunity and lands a powerful punch on Yun Sung, saying, "You're dead now." However, Yun Sung anticipates the punch and blocks his face with his hands. But Shin Young-min uses a feint, pretending to punch Yun Sung's face, and instead lands a solid punch to his stomach. Yun Sung feels the pain but thinks that compared to Young Do-cheol's training, this is nothing. He knows he can't win against Shin Young-min, and this fight is just to prove himself. Shin Young-min unleashes a flurry of attacks, but Yun Sung, trained by Young Do-cheol, sees an opening and grabs Shin Young-min's leg, pushing him towards the window. The glass shatters, and Shin Young-min grabs the window frame to prevent himself from falling. Shin Young-min curses Yun Sung, saying, "You're crazy, you bastard. What do you want? Young Sung responds coldly, I want to end this with one of us dead. A student screams, get out, those crazy freshmen are fighting. Some students pull Young Sung out of the classroom, but he struggles to break free, shouting, let me go, Shin Young Min. You think this is over? When you touched my friend, this wasn't going to end until one of us is dead. Understand? Shin Young Min glares at Young Sung, annoyed by the crowd watching them like they're about to kill each other. Young Sung adds, just wait. I'll hit your head with a chair every chance I get. You think I won't do it? Don't I dare. I'll make you remember what happens when you mess with me. A man approaches Shin Young Min and asks, Young Min, are you okay? Shin Young Min responds coldly, why are you asking? Can't you see I just beat him up? The man nervously says, I saw it, but what about your back? 30 minutes later, an announcement is made that certain students need to report to the teacher's room. The scene shifts to a bathroom where Young Sung is beating up Kim Si-woo. Teacher Kim Young-chul is thinking that he needs to resolve this situation as soon as possible, but the scene in front of him is severe. Blood from the fight is scattered on the floor. Teacher Kim doesn't know if Principal Oh Dae-won will let this incident slide. His dream is to make this school one of the top schools. In the principal's office, Teacher Kim is surprised by Principal Oh Dae-won's response, who says to ignore the incident, as if he's not concerned about Young Sung's fight. This response makes Teacher Kim ask to confirm what he heard. Principal Oh Dae-won explains, Teacher Kim, I heard from a friend that Go Chang-bom's son has succeeded, and he's decided to become our sponsor. If he becomes the company's head, he'll increase his investment in this school. This sponsor is different from a donation. With a sly smile, Principal Oh Dae-won says, why would Go Chang-bom want to sponsor our school? Is it for profit or reputation? It's none of those things. Go Chang-bom himself requested that as long as Young Sung can study well here, he'll sponsor the school. So, we need to cover up all the incidents, and of course, you'll receive a reward as the person in charge. Go Chang-bom has prepared a spot in the housing project that his company will execute. The reason tempts Teacher Kim, as he'll get a good apartment from a well-known company, Myunjin Construction. Principal Oh Dae-won looks at Teacher Kim, who is already tempted, and says, real estate is booming right now. Shouldn't you be getting a new apartment and separating from your wife? So, just keep doing what you're doing. We only need to protect one student, Kim Young Sung. Understand? Teacher Kim, already very tempted, responds enthusiastically, okay, principal. I'll do my best. Let me handle this problem, and I'll take care of that bastard Kim Young-chul. Seeing Teacher Kim's positive response, the principal extends his hand for a handshake and says, since we're on the same boat now, you can call me, older brother, from now on. Teacher Kim shakes the principal's hand with enthusiasm and says, really? Then I'll call you, older brother. I'll help you make this school the best in Korea, and you'll become a legend in Decent. Principal Oh Dae-won chuckles and says, you're making me blush, my brother. From now on, we need to handle any problems involving Kim Young Sung, okay? With a serious look, Principal Oh Dae-won adds, if Kim Young Sung can graduate without any issues, it would be very beneficial for Myunjin Construction. Do you think I'd ignore someone important in a mission like this? Just then, a teacher opens the door and says, Principal, Young Sung has been beaten up. The news makes Teacher Kim and Principal Oh Dae-won furious, and they shout in unison, what? Who did it? The scene shifts to Shin Young Min, who glares at Teacher Kim and claims he's the victim in the fight with Kim Young Sung. Shin Young Min says, he came and attacked me. Why am I being treated like the one who started the fight? Principal Oh Dae-won looks at Shin Young Min and says, Shin Young Min, you're a senior in this school, and I heard you've learned some mixed martial arts. It's impossible for someone like you to get beaten up by a freshman who's 2 years younger. Do you know what you're doing is right? Teacher Kim adds, hey, you bastard, do you think I don't know about you? You've often beaten up other students when you get the chance. The principal says, Teacher Kim Young-chul, watch your words. Teacher Kim quickly responds, sorry, but this student is like a bastard who beats people up for no reason. Seeing that the teacher isn't on his side makes Shin Young Min feel annoyed, and he shouts, this is so stressful. I almost fell from the top floor and almost died because of him. I also have witnesses. Teacher Kim grabs Shin Young Min's shoulder and says coldly, looking straight into his eyes, there will always be witnesses. But the question is, can we trust them? Go out there and bring someone in and ask, was it a normal student or a bastard like you who was wrong? Who do you think will help you? Hearing this, Shin Young-min shouts insults at Teacher Kim. Teacher Kim grabs Shin Young-min's collar and says, you think you can insult me? You'd better watch your mouth. If you don't admit your mistake, we'll punish you severely. Teacher Kim releases Shin Young-min's collar and says coldly, I'm asking for the last time. Will you admit your mistake? At that moment, Shin Young-min realizes that the adult in front of him is just as stubborn as he is, and dealing with Yun-sung isn't a simple matter. It's not as simple as taming an angry dog. After realizing this, Shin Young-min bows his head and apologizes, but in his heart, he curses Teacher Kim for siding with Yun-sung. After apologizing, Shin Young-min walks out of the principal's office, thinking about what he needs to do. He's almost graduated, and he can't let this issue slow him down. Even if he has to spend money to resolve this problem, he'll do it. Shin Young-min takes out his phone and calls someone for help. The scene shifts to a car, where someone says, this is bad and surprising. All the people who bullied the target have been expelled, and how is it possible that Myunjin Construction is involved in this? Even to the point where the teachers and principal are protecting him like that. As a Golden Circle broker, I have to handle this myself because the Golden Circle doesn't accept failure. Kong Taegu, a Golden Circle broker, is the one Shin Young-min called for help. The scene shifts to Principal Oh Dae-wan's office, where Kong Taegu thinks that someone like Oh Dae-wan is the type of person who wouldn't take risks. After thinking about it, Kong Taegu says, I heard Shin Young-min was treated unfairly. Can you explain? Principal Oh Dae-wan responds with a straight face, what do you mean? We've never done anything like that. Kong Taegu says, something interesting happened a few days ago. 4 students were sent to the hospital and expelled, but the person who beat them up only got a light punishment. If something like this happens, he could end up in prison. With a serious look, Kong Taegu says, are you giving special treatment to Kim Yun-sung? If that's the case, I won't let it slide. After hearing Kong Taegu's threat, Principal Oh Dae-wan chuckles and says, how interesting. Since when does everyone in Daesun do what they want? We're not committing any crimes, and we've discussed it with the police. So, do what you want. Kong Taegu looks at Oh Dae-wan even more sharply and threatens him, are you serious? Because I'll do it. Principal Oh Dae-wan sighs and says, yes, do whatever you want. I don't know what your plan is, but threats won't work here. The scene shifts to a police station, where a police officer says, is that a problem? The case is a self-defense case from the guy who was bullied. Even we police can see what happened. If we want to punish Kim Yun-sung, we need to look into the details of the problem first. And it's just self-defense from the bullying. Hearing the police officer's explanation, Kong Taegu becomes more annoyed because everything is the same at school and the police station. With frustration, Kong Taegu says, damn it. This is why people don't trust the police. If you don't take this case seriously, I'll make it go viral on social media. You know how dangerous social media is these days. The police officer sighs after hearing what Kong Taegu says and responds, this is Daesun, not Seoul. Whether you publish it or not doesn't matter. The news might go viral even if I go on vacation. Kong Taegu is shocked by the police officer's response, who doesn't seem intimidated by the threat of going viral on social media. Outside the police station, Kong Taegu is on the phone with someone. The person on the other end says, the police and Oh Dae-wan are close. That's very normal in a small town. Everyone knows each other. So, I think they're all choosing to stay quiet because Oh Dae-wan trusts the leader here. The scene shifts to a cafe where Kong Taegu is sitting and thinking about all the possible outcomes. Dealing with powerful people in this place is very troublesome. If this were related to a specific goal, it wouldn't be this complicated. After thinking about it, Kong Taegu says with frustration, all the important people here are on his side. Is this why people want to be in Seoul? Kong Taegu stubs out his cigarette and thinks, this is all very clear. They don't want to take on missions in places like this, even if the mission is easy. The rulers know each other too well. After thinking about it, Kong Taegu becomes even more annoyed and slams his fist on the table, shouting, I won't fail. As a Golden Circle broker, Kong Taegu knows that failure is not an option. If he fails, the Golden Circle will send another broker, and if that happens, Kong Tae Gu's life will have dire consequences. The Golden Circle never forgives those who fail in their missions. That's the real reason behind Kong Tae Gu's fear. The scene shifts to Shin Young-min, who is talking on the phone. Shin Young-min says in shock, "What did you say? What does it mean? You said you'd help me." It turns out that the person on the phone is Kong Taegu. Kong Taegu says with annoyance, "You damn bastard, do you think the Golden Circle is a joke? You've been paid, helping you, just because you're having trouble. Do we look like that?" Hearing Kong Taegu's outburst over the phone, Shin Young-min becomes nervous and says, "It's not like that." After saying that, Kong Taegu immediately responds, "If you don't listen, I'll explain it once, you damn troublemaker. It's your fault for looking for trouble with Kim Yun-sung. You need to think clearly. Teachers might be on his side, but if your grades are bad, that's not a big deal. Use your brain, ask a friend or a junior." Hearing Kong Taegu's explanation, Shin Young-min becomes even more annoyed. He asked Kong Taegu for help, and he offered to help, but instead of helping, Kong Taegu scolds him. Kong Taegu says coldly, "Listen carefully, Shin Young-min. The Golden Circle doesn't accept failure. If you give up or fail, we won't just punish Kim Yun-sung, but you too. That's how the Golden Circle works. So, whatever you do, you have to succeed." After threatening Shin Young-min, Kong Taegu hangs up the phone, leaving Shin Young-min even more frustrated because he's confused about what to do. He can't even get out of this problem. The next day, in Shin Young-min's class, all the students are gossiping about Shin Young-min's bandaged face. Is it because of the fight with Kim Yun-sung, the crazy freshman? Because yesterday Kim Yun-sung threatened Shin Young-min, making everyone speculate that Kim Yun-sung beat up Shin Young-min after school. Hearing this makes Shin Young-min even more annoyed after everything he's been through. The actual event that occurred was that Kim Yun-sung punched Shin Young-min with a chair in his classroom from behind last night. Because of the hard punch, his head bled, making Shin Young-min very annoyed and wanting to punch Kim Yun-sung back. When his punch was about to hit Kim Yun-sung, he said coldly, "It seems like the commission is more important to you." Hearing this, Shin Young-min is shocked and stops his punch. Kim Yun-sung adds, "I heard a broker came to see the principal." Hearing this, Shin Young-min says nervously, "How did you know?" Kim Yun-sung immediately threatens Shin Young-min that the eldest son of Myunjin Construction is his protector. Leaving school won't be simple for Shin Young-min. Kim Yun-sung will take him to court and have him imprisoned, and after he gets out of prison, people from Myunjin Construction will beat him as much as possible and make him unable to live like a normal human being. So, the only option is to run away, but will it be that easy? Hearing the threat from Yun-sung, Shin Young-min is suddenly frightened and takes a step back, saying, "What are you talking about? What do you want? Justice?" Yun-sung slowly walks forward, making Shin Young-min, who is already scared, fall to the ground. And says, "Wait." Yun-sung says coldly, "There's only one thing I want. Destroying everyone who messes with me." Yun-sung grabs Shin Young-min's collar and says, "You have to accept it. If you want to go to school in the future, if you want to live like a human being in Decent, then you have to be able to withstand the suffering of the people you bully." After saying that, Yun-sung beats Shin Young-min mercilessly. Back to the present, Shin Young-min thinks that he could take down Yun-sung, and he's not anyone special, but the problem is his backing. But if he lets Yun-sung go, the Golden Circle will come looking for him and punish him for his failure. Shin Young-min is trapped in a situation where moving forward is wrong, and moving backward is also wrong. If he still wants to deal with Yun-sung, and it turns out that his backing is indeed Go Chang-bom, then his story is over. And if he lets Yun-sung go, the Golden Circle will come looking for him and punish him. Shin Young-min, feeling annoyed, bangs his head on the desk, regretting accepting payment for this mission, and wishing he had never taken it. With frustration, Shin Young-min hopes that Yun-sung's grades will drop, even if it's just a little, so he can use that as an excuse to stall for time, even if it's just a little. To avoid the worst-case scenario that could happen to him, the scene shifts to Yun-sung, who is thinking that threats only work for a while. After the exam, everything will be different. Shin Young-min is trying to survive, the Golden Circle is trying to complete their mission. If he gets a perfect score, everyone's emotions will explode. And that's where Yun-sung will succeed with his plan. The scene shifts to Young-do Cheol's gym, where he is training Yun Sung to fight while explaining how to become a strong fighter and avoid severe situations that may occur in a fight. Young Do-chil throws a right hook, but Yun Sung dodges it and immediately counterattacks with a left hook that hits its mark, but Young Do-chil still manages to block it with his hand. Young Do-chil ends the training session and praises Yun Sung. Young Do-chil thinks that Yun Sung has the talent to become a professional fighter, and he's even using some moves that haven't been taught yet. After thinking about it, Young Do-chil says, "Clean up everything and head home. Rest is also important." Yun Sung turns around and says, "Okay." In Young Do-chil's mind, if this agreement wasn't about money, he would have asked Yun Sung to try his luck in professional fighting. Although he's not allowed to enter the octagon, it's different if it's his student. Yun Sung, who has finished cleaning up, is about to say goodbye when someone suddenly enters the gym. And that person is not a stranger, but someone very close to him. That person is Kim Si-woo, who came for a consultation with Young Do-chil. A few days ago, after Yun Sung left Kim Si-woo in the infirmary, Kim Si-woo thought, what he said is messed up. He's like a different person. He used to always smile. Even wanted to succeed and make his grandmother happy. Why is he like this now? As Kim Si-woo thinks about what Yun Sung said, and he should have realized it from the start, someone enters the room and calls out to Si-woo loudly, "Si-woo, there's a big problem. Yun Sung got into a fight with Shin Young-min. I heard it from a senior." Hearing this, Kim Si-woo realizes that his close friend, Kim Yun Sung, is still the same high school student who protected those around him without fear. The man explains what he heard from the senior to Kim Si-woo. After listening to the explanation, Kim Si-woo reflects on his friendship with Yun Sung, who fought for him to such an extent. How could he ignore his friend? Back to the present, Yun Sung turns around and asks, "Coach, is Si-woo the one you were talking about? Do you two know each other?" Yun Sung turns around and says, "Sorry, but don't ever accept him. I'll pay for all the costs that Si-woo will." Before he can finish his sentence, Young Do-chil interrupts him, saying, "No." Young Do-chil smiles slightly and thinks that having his friend here will prevent any problems. After thinking about it, Young Do-chil puts his arm around Kim Si-woo's shoulders and says, "This is my decision. I'll decide whether to accept students or not in this gym." After saying that, Young Do-chil brings Kim Si-woo into his office and says, "Let's go this way, handsome guest. And you can head home now." In Young Do-chil's office, Young Do-chil asks about Kim Si-woo's readiness, whether he wants to help Yun Sung, and if he knows Yun Sung's plan. Kim Si-woo answers that he knows everything and is ready. Hearing Kim Si-woo's answer makes Young Do-chil annoyed because they are both the same. Young Do-chil looks at Kim Si-woo and says, "Do you think this gym is a place to train people to fight? I couldn't accept you, and I also want to kick Yun Sung out if I could." After hearing that, Kim Si-woo says, "I understand. This gym is only for training us." Kim Si-woo immediately removes the bandage from his face and adds, "Look at my wounds. I got them when I tried to defend myself from bullies. Bullying happens in our school, even beyond what adults think. If Yun Sung hadn't come to help me back then, maybe I would have ended up tragically. Yun Sung has protected me, so I don't want to ignore him. Don't force me to look for another gym. I think there must be a reason why Yun Sung chose this place." Hearing Kim Si-woo's reason, Young Do-chil can only slap his forehead and feel like he's in a situation he doesn't understand with these high school kids' problems. Kim Si-woo puts all the money he has on the table and says that this is all he has. If it's not enough, he's also willing to find a part-time job to pay for the rest. Young Do-chil suddenly slams his fist on the table and says, "Why are you so depressed? Even if you don't want to help him, I already plan to be by his side. In a situation like this, where even a close friend is being bullied, is it right to teach them how to fight, and is it wrong to tell them to use violence to bully others?" Young Do-chil sighs and says, I give up. Come to the gym ring tomorrow. But if you can't follow all the training, I'll consider you a failure." Kim Si-woo smiles happily and says, "Okay." Deep in Young Do-chil's mind, he thinks that he's only teaching them self-defense to protect themselves from bullying. After that, Kim Si-woo exits Young Do-chil's office, and Yun Sung throws a pair of gloves at Kim Si-woo, who catches them. Yun Sung says, "It seems like the coach has accepted you, but I haven't." They both enter the ring and get ready to fight. Yun Sung, who is getting ready, says, "Prove yourself. Prove that you can fight back, even if you're thrown into the depths of hell." Let's see how long we can hold on with that cute friendship excuse. You know that my plan isn't good for our future, right? Kim Si-woo doesn't answer and just focuses on putting on his gloves to fight against Yun-sung, who wants to test his determination. Yun-sung gets into a fighting stance and says, "What will you get from getting involved in this chaos? Friendship. You might die after fighting day after day, and you could even end up in prison." They exchange a pre-fight handshake, and Kim Si-woo says, "I know all that. That's why I want us to do this together. 2 is better than 1. Yun-sung says, "You damn idiot. I'll warn you, from now on, don't think of me as your friend for a second." After saying that, Yun-sung charges at Kim Si-woo, wanting to beat him up badly in this sparring match to end their friendship in the octagon. However, before Yun-sung can approach Kim Si-woo kicks Yun-sung's face with his right foot and says, "You must have forgotten that I used to be an athlete." But Yun-sung blocks the kick. Yun-sung looks at Kim Si-woo and says, "Okay, let's start." Their fight is very intense. Punch after punch is thrown by Yun-sung, but Kim Si-woo blocks them, and kick after kick is launched by Kim Si-woo, but Yun-sung blocks them. During their fight, Kim Si-woo says that if it was one-on-one back then, he wouldn't have lost to Park Jin-woo, and he had beaten him before. Kim Yun-sung realizes that Kim Si-woo is a good athlete. When Kim Si-woo was still an active athlete, he was known as the special master, and could win as many gold medals as he wanted. Unfortunately, in one of his matches, he fought against the son of the head of the Taekwondo Association, and the referee was very unfair, favoring the son of the head of the Taekwondo Association, which resulted in Kim Si-woo's loss. After that incident, he stopped being an athlete, but his strength hasn't diminished. In the middle of their fight, Yun-sung manages to knock Kim Si-woo down and says coldly, "Do you know that in MMA, there's a technique called kick-catch, and you can hit your opponent on the ground?" After saying that, Yun-sung immediately beats up Kim Si-woo, saying, "Accept your defeat." Memories of their childhood flash through Kim Si-woo's mind, making him stick to his decision to help his close friend Yun-sung, even though Yun-sung keeps hitting him in the face. "Come on, beg me to stop," Yun-sung says while continuing to punch Kim Si-woo's face. But instead of begging, Kim Si-woo smiles with his face battered from the punches. Seeing Kim Si-woo's smile touches Yun-sung's heart, and he immediately sits next to Kim Si-woo, covering his face with his hands, holding back his sadness. Yun-sung says, "You idiot, why are you doing this? You've done a lot for our friendship." Kim Si-woo says, "I just can't forget the memories of when I was bullied every day. I couldn't do anything, not even tell my grandparents who took care of me after my parents died. But then you appeared. Maybe it wasn't a big deal to you, but I can't forget it. Quitting Taekwondo and becoming friends with you was my decision. This is my life, so all of this is my decision." Soon after, Young Do-chil enters the ring and says, "You two, stop fighting and follow me for training. I'll bet my life on making you both reach the top of the UFL stage." Young Do-chil thinks that they both are very good at fighting and wonders why they got bullied. Even without training, they can fight with several people. In the past, when he was still an active UFL fighter, Young Do-chil had often met strong fighters, but he had never met anyone with kicks as strong as Kim Si-woo's, who is still young. On the other hand, Yun-sung is a fighter with a steel mentality, who dares to take risks by seizing opportunities, no matter how small, and is able to find gaps in his opponent's defense. If Kim Si-woo has the natural talent to succeed in professional fighting, then Kim Yun-sung has the potential to be the best. After thinking about it, Young Do-chil says, "I want to offer you something. Your skills are great, and it would be a waste not to utilize them. Quit school and become a professional fighter. Focus on that. I may be banned from UFL fights, but I know some athletes who can help you later." Yun-sung says, "Sorry, coach. I'm not interested in fighting. Fighting always hurts, and it makes me want to give up, but I can't because I have a goal." Yun-sung walks out of the arena and says, "Please think carefully. You have to decide this, not me. If you think differently from me, then I consider us done. You can leave whenever you want, but don't get in my way." Outside the gym, Yun-sung says, "Think carefully, won't you regret doing this with me?" Kim Si-woo says, "No, I won't." Yun-sung continues, "All right, I won't stop you anymore, but you have to agree to 2 conditions." Kim Si-woo asks, "What are the conditions?" Yun-sung says, "First, you have to train with me from now on. If you fall behind, I'll ignore you. Second, You have to overcome the problems you can face. If the problem is beyond your ability, then run away. Kim Si-woo asks, is that all? Young Sung looks at Kim Si-woo and says, why? Can't you? Kim Si-woo immediately answers, it's not like that. Alright, is that all? Although not entirely sure, Kim Si-woo agrees to it. Young Sung adds, no, there's a third condition. From now on, you'll receive a monthly allowance from Myunjin Construction Company. Kim Si-woo is shocked and wants to ask questions, but Young Sung tells him not to ask many questions and just accept it, then walks away, leaving Kim Si-woo behind. Young Sung thinks that this situation is good for him because he can use it to change Kim Si-woo's future. The scene shifts to Young Sung's house, where Young Sung opens the door while calling out to his younger brother, Young Jin. Seeing his brother's enthusiasm, Young Sung asks what he's doing. Young Jin is watching an esports match where his favorite team, Team Baker, is competing. If they win, Team Baker will make it to the finals. Seeing his brother's enthusiasm for watching the esports match on TV, Young Sung decides to go to the kitchen and cook for them, letting his beloved brother enjoy the match. While cooking in the kitchen, Young Sung thinks that in his past life, his favorite team won the match. He never told his brother that he liked games, but his brother never asked him to buy a computer. Young Sung wants to make sure his grandmother, Kim Si-woo, and his brother, Young Jin, have a good life this time around and will destroy Shin Young-min, the Golden Circle, or anyone who gets in his way. While cooking, Young Sung receives a message from Young Do-cheol, apologizing for being too tempted to utilize Young Sung's abilities and wanting to go back to the original plan. A few weeks later, at school, the weather is very sunny on a morning. In Young Sung's class, they are having an exam, and a proctor is explaining the rules that must be followed, such as not cheating in others. In this exam, Young Sung must get a perfect score. Before, he almost exposed the Golden Circle, but unfortunately, he was brought down first. Now, if he wants to attract the Golden Circle's attention, he must get their attention by obstructing them. So, this exam is the beginning of his revenge. When he encounters a difficult question, Young Sung remembers how hard he struggled to learn to avenge those who bullied him, and it's not time to give up on difficult questions. When the exam ends, all the students in the class are discussing which answers are correct and who got the most correct. Soon after, a beautiful girl approaches Young Sung and greets him. The girl is Oh Hae-ji, known for her beauty and sweetness. In Young Sung's past life, she confessed to him, asking him to be her boyfriend, but Young Sung rejected her. Oh Hae-ji asks Young Sung to show her the exam sheet, and she's shocked because Young Sung got a perfect score in all subjects, which makes everyone look at him. The next day, Young Sung is on the school roof with Teacher Kim. Teacher Kim says, "All right, the smartest student in school, what do you want to say? Say whatever you want, and I'll prepare it immediately." Young Sung immediately asks if his teacher knows any information about the Golden Circle. Teacher Kim says, "All right, I'll explain about the Golden Circle, so listen carefully.